So we went after Tucker because Tucker totally flipped on his anti-war position the second it was Biden who really ended the war. Well, there is one person on the right who is seemingly consistent. Take a look at this. Mediaite says, Ann Coulter effusively praises Biden's Afghanistan speech. Unlike Trump, he had the balls to withdraw. Wow. Ann Coulter giving props to a Democrat is something I never thought in my lifetime I would see. So, let me tell you. So, here's some of what she tweeted. There's a New York Times tweet that says, President Biden on Tuesday vehemently defended his decision to end the war in Afghanistan, saying the choice was between leaving or escalating. Quote, I was not going to extend this forever war, Biden declared. Ann Coulter quote tweeted that and said, thank you, President Biden, for keeping a promise Trump made, but then abandoned when he got in office. Damn, son. Okay, more. Trump repeatedly, this is from Ann, Trump repeatedly demanded that we bring our soldiers home, but only President Biden had the balls to do it. Here are a few of Trump's wuss, BS, masterful tweets. And then she shows some of his old tweets on Afghanistan. I'll give you some of them. Peace through strength. Bring our soldiers home. Vote. He said this in 2020, believe it or not. We are acting as a police force, not the fighting force that we are in Afghanistan. After 19 years, it's time to... What does it say there? Hold on. It's cut off. Let me give it one more look-see. Okay, here we go. We are acting as a police force, not the fighting force that we are in Afghanistan. After 19 years, it is time for them to police their own country. Bring our soldiers back home, but closely watch what is going on and strike with a thunder like never before if necessary. Almost 3 years, and this one was in 2019. Almost 3 years, but it is time for us to get out of these ridiculous, endless wars, many of them tribal, and bring our soldiers home. We will fight where it is to our benefit and only fight to win. Turkey, Europe, Syria, Iran, Iraq, Russia, and the Kurds will now have to, and then it trails off. So that's actually not the best example. Here, let me pull up more. Because Trump had been saying this for years. And I know because I covered the story. Let's get out of Afghanistan. Our troops are being killed by the Afghanis. We train and we waste billions there. Nonsense. Rebuild the USA. Here we go. This is the one I remember. We should leave Afghanistan immediately. No more wasted lives. If we have to go back in, we go in hard and quick. Rebuild the U.S. first. Afghanistan is a total disaster. We don't know what we are doing. They are, in addition to everything else, robbing us blind. Do not allow our very stupid leaders to sign a deal that keeps us in Afghanistan through 2024. With all costs by USA. Make America great. When will we stop wasting our money on rebuilding Afghanistan? We must rebuild our country first. That's all the way back in 2011. Let's get out of Afghanistan. Our troops are being killed by the Afghans we train, and we waste billions there. Nonsense. Rebuild the USA. We have wasted an enormous amount of blood and treasure in Afghanistan. Their government has zero appreciation. Let's get out. It is time to get out of Afghanistan. We are building roads and schools for people that hate us. It is not in our national interest. I mean, the list goes on and on. It was a common theme of his from even a decade ago where he'd say it nonstop. And then when he got in power, there were a couple times where he looked like he wanted to pull the trigger, and then he cucked to the deep state. Some intelligence officials and some generals would come to him and say, sir, here's why we can't do it. And he'd be like, okay, no, you're right. We totally can't do it. And the only thing he did that was good was negotiate with the Taliban. But even his timeline for withdrawal was really a fake withdrawal. It wasn't fully getting out. So Ann Coulter, surprisingly, is correct. And, I mean, it does go to show you, if you actually believe in the principle of America first, you would agree with this. And you would notice and you would recognize that all of the scrutiny going on for the withdrawal was missing for the actual 20-year occupation and the war, where the withdrawal was the most orderly part of the entire war. And the media just wasn't hypercritical and didn't scrutinize the occupation itself. If you really were America first, you would understand that. You would be skeptical. You would be critical of the fake news media. But no, now the same people who scream fake news believe the news completely. Well, Ann Coulter doesn't. Don't go too far in giving her credit though, because she's a paleocon, which is like sort of like the Pat Buchanan version of conservatism. So they're not neocons. They don't want endless war, but they're very, very restrictive here at home. They really hate immigrants, and many of them are deeply bigoted and xenophobic. And that's Ann Coulter for sure. But at least on the war, she's right, and at least she's being principled on it, and she doesn't care about the partisan cheerleading. And she's saying, yeah, no, it's good that we ended the war. And she's one of the only people, if not the only people on the right who's saying that if you really believe in America first, this is some America first stuff. So don't be a hack.